Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to our pre-match press conference to preview our fixture against Aston Villa this weekend. And if we start off with Alan Myers from Sky Sports, please.
Hi, Duncan.
Hi, Alan.
You okay? Duncan, how's this week been in training and what you've seen since you've been in charge?
Yeah, I think it's been a good week. The players look upbeat. The sessions have went well. Plenty of intensity. So yeah, I'm quite happy with the players, the way they've worked through the week.
What have you done differently this week, and what are you hoping for differently come 12:30 tomorrow?
I think it's just a different voice as well, isn't it? That's probably the big difference when you lose a manager and somebody else is then speaking. You always get a reaction from the players, but I've certainly pushed them as hard as I could possibly push them. That's the main one for me, to make sure we keep that intensity. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, from your own point of view, and I know looking back at what you did in December 2019. Where do you stand as far as the job is concerned? Do you want the job full time? Is this your opportunity to show the chair, the owner and the chairman what you can do?
No, I think maybe down the line, maybe one day, hopefully, I always dream about becoming the Everton manager. But of course, I've not quite got that experience. So my job at the moment is to take the upcoming games, steady the ship, and the club will go through a process identifying the new manager. I'm sure they'll do that, and they'll bring the new manager in.
But obviously, if you went on a bit of a winning run, is that something that may happen? Is it somewhere in the back of your mind?
You never know in football, do you? But at the moment, my job is to focus on the next game, and that's it. I focus on the next game, and what happens down the line, that'll be down to the club. I'm sure they'll go through a good process looking for their new guy, and we're always looking for the best managers in the world. And I'm sure that they'll find that and they'll bring them to the club.
Have you spoken to Farhad Bashiri? Has he given you his full backing?
Yeah, I spoke to him a couple of times. Not very often, to be honest with you, because I've been mad busy. But yeah, he's given me the full backing, you know what I mean? Same thing. It's one game at a time, really.
Yeah, I mean, that game that you talk about against Aston Villa, it's a difficult game, but you've got Steven Gerrard, you've got Lucas Dean coming back. It's going to get all the ingredients, isn't it, for a special day, Goodison, I guess?
Absolutely. I mean, it's going to be a difficult game. Aston Villa, a very good team, as you know. Steven's doing very well. He done great at Rangers. Stoke and Celtic winning 10 in a row. So he did brilliant up there, and he's done a great job at Aston Villa. So it's going to be a tough game for us. And of course, Steven's connections to Liverpool as well could add a little bit to that.
Yeah, I think you described it this morning as an Everton icon. Obviously, it's two young managers against each other. What do you think you can expect from Aston Villa tomorrow?
Yeah, high intensity. You know what I mean? They're a good team. They've got good three strikers in there. You know what I mean? That they look to play off. So yeah, it's going to be a difficult game for us. You know what I mean? And we've got to make sure that we're defensively aware. We've got to stop the counter attacks, things like that. So yeah, it's going to be a really tough game and high intensity.
And I know you're not going to tell me your team at all, but what are the sort of changes will there be changes? Will the fans see changes in personnel tomorrow?
Yeah, I think if you're going a losing run that we've been on, you've got to really start to make some changes, haven't you? So it's not been working. So yeah, I'll consider things tonight, and I'll name a team in the morning.
Yeah, and just finally from me, have you given the ball boys safety helmets, in case of any celebrations?
Well, we need to score some goals, don't we, first, eh? But the ball boys better be careful.
Thanks, Duncan.
Thank you.
Thanks very much, Alan. We'll go to Andy Sixsmith, please, at Premier League Productions.
Hi, Duncan. Great to see you. We've seen the continental names like Rafa, of course, Marco Silva, Carlo Ancelotti at Everton. Is there an argument at this moment in time that Everton need yourself, Leighton Baines, people who get the tradition of Everton Football Club to help them out this sticky spot?
I think there could be an argument at the moment because we've not got a manager. So, obviously we're here to steady that ship, and we've got that connection to the fans, haven't we? So at the moment in time, yeah, I think that's a good option for them. I think going down the line, they'll just find the best manager possible that they can find, wherever he's from. You know what I mean? We're just looking for the best guy, aren't we? The best candidate.
It's your latest interim spell at the club. What have you learned from that last interim spell and since then as well, would you say, as a manager?
Yeah, you've got a little bit of experience now, going through these emotions, you know what I mean? The last time come along very quickly for me. It was, I think it was only a day or two before the game. This time I've had a bit more thinking time, so probably, you know, I know what's going to come, so I'm a bit more relaxed about it.
You say you've had a good week on the training pitch. How do you kind of assess the squad currently with what you've got in the lead up to Villa?
Yeah, I mean, we've got a really more or less fully fit squad. They're all on the training pitch. They've all trained well, good high intensity. You know, I mean, as I said, they seem to be happy enough and ready to play. So yeah, we're in a good place at the moment on the training field. That's on the training field.
Just specifying on injury, are there any problems ahead of the game, injury-wise?
Yeah, we've got a couple. Fabian Delph there, and just the long-term injuries. So more or less, you know, more or less a clean bill of health.
And just looking at the wider picture, would you say that Everton are in a relegation battle at the minute? Is it not worth looking at? How do you feel about it?
I don't see that. Know what I mean? Personally, I think obviously if the results don't improve very quickly, you know, things can go. You know, we can go the other way, can't we? We can start dropping further down the league. But I think at the moment we're just, if we can pull a little bit of form together, I think we'll be okay. You know what I mean? So I don't see it quite like that, but it certainly can. You know, if we don't improve very quickly, you know what I mean? Things can go. No, might not be too good for us.
Thanks, Andy. We'll go to Alistair McGowan at the BBC, please.
Duncan, I just wondered, you know, talking about character there and the sort of people that understand the club, and you were talking there also about getting the best managers for the club. Would you say that Wayne Rooney would be a good fit for the club then, given he knows it and obviously he's proven himself at Derby?
Well, I wouldn't going to. I'm going to drag on too many names. Who's going to be the good fit? But certainly Wayne's done very well at Derby, hasn't he? And you know, he's an Evertonian, and you know, so the fans love him. So you know, obviously that can be one candidate of many candidates. But Wayne's obviously proved himself at Derby. Has been a very good manager.
And obviously you're sort of coming into the side, and you mentioned that you've added a fresh voice. What do you think Everton's problems have been this season? How do you view it?
I don't think I want to go back to that really. You know what I mean? I mean, you'd have to probably speak to the previous manager, what his thoughts on that was. So you know, what's went in the past for me, I've just got to leave that and move and look to the future. You know what I mean?
Thanks, Alistair. We'll go to James Savundra at TalkSport, please.
Hi Duncan, congratulations on the interim appointment. What was your reaction on Sunday when you found out that Rafa would be leaving the club?
Yeah, I mean, look, I think the results were there, weren't they? So we weren't too surprised. I don't think. You know what I mean? I don't think maybe even Rafa would have been too surprised. At the end of the day, the results weren't quite there, were they? So we're on a bad run. You know, so I think the results speak for themselves, didn't they?
You were saying that you told the players a few home truths. Can you give us some insight into what you told the players?
You know, just what's needed in an Everton player, really. You know what I mean? What the fans demand. That's really what I was. You know, I'm banging on to them. You know what I mean? That in the past it's not been good enough, but we need to show the fans, you know what you're all about. You know what I mean? And you know, make sure that they fight for the shirt, really.
You spoke about the fans there. How excited are you, and how important is it to rebuild that connection between the fans and the team once again?
Definitely. I mean, I think we've got to show the fans that we care about the club, and you know, really show that fight and determination to get results. And of course, then you bring the fans along with you even more. I mean, the fans have been with us, but obviously, you know, they need to see a team that's fighting for them. That's what we're looking for.
Thanks, James. We'll go to James Mountford at Radio Merseyside, please.
Hello, Duncan. Good afternoon, and best wishes in the couple of weeks to come. Farhad Moshiri has increased his share in the football club. You've been here a little time now. I just wonder, how frustrating is it the fact the club are probably as best well placed as they have been in recent history to challenge for the top six, yet it's just not happened in recent seasons?
Yeah, obviously, I mean, the owner's putting in an incredible amount of money, hasn't he? I mean, what a backing he's done for the club. The money that he's put in. Obviously, we've got the new stadium coming up. But yeah, he's showed a total commitment to the football club, and we're very lucky to have him.
Do you think the players know what it takes to play for this football club?
I think they do now. I think they should know, but obviously they know now. Put it that way.
And Goodison tomorrow, you've touched on it already, but the atmosphere, I mean, how important will the supporters be as Z Cars rings out and we hear that siren?
Yeah, they're incredibly important to us because, of course, they're the blood of the club. We're here for them, and we need them with us. And I know they'll be with us. They'll be with us right to the end of the game. I'm asking them to stick with the team to the 90 minutes, and I'm sure the players will respond.
What's been the players' response, Duncan, to the recent results, and how determined are they to perhaps show their true colours?
Yeah, I think they're determined to show their true colours, but of course they were on the floor, weren't they? I mean, if you continue getting bad results, it just rolls on and it rolls on. So it's very difficult to turn that round. But this week we've tried to get a bit of confidence into them, tell them a few home truths, and try to get that reaction out of them. On the training ground, they look good, but as I said before, that's on the training ground. Let's hope they can do it in a game. That's where it counts at the end of the day, on the pitch.
Thanks, James. We'll go to Carl Markham at the Press Association, please.
Hi, Duncan.
Hi there.
I'm just wondering, you're in somewhat of a unique position at the club, having worked under 6 different managers. And there's been a lot of debate after, obviously, Rafa left about what kind of manager Everton need. What kind of manager do Everton need?
We need a winning manager, don't we? That's it. We need a manager that can come to the club and win games at football, build something, and and get us back up the league. That's what the owners are about. They're looking for a successful manager that can bring make Everton, get Everton to win football matches. That's it. It's about winning, isn't it?
Oh, it is, yeah. But you look at the sort of calibre of the managers you brought in. You would have expected the likes of some of those to have brought that winning sort of form to Everton. So, how there's been a lot of talk of a manager understanding the club. How important is that?
Yeah, I think it's important that when a manager comes into a club that they understand any club, that club that they go into. So yeah. It's important that a manager understands the club, but it's not the most important thing. The most important thing that manager comes in here and he wins games at football. That's what it's all about.
Thanks, Carl. Finally, in the open section, we'll take one from Jim Conlon, please.
Hi, Duncan. Duncan, I'm just wondering, you've worked under so many managers during your time at Everton. In Pacific, working under Carlo Ancelotti, a serial winner in the game. What was that like, and what did you learn from day to day working with Carlo during his time at Everton?
Yeah, Carlo was a fantastic manager. I learned a lot from the man. You know what I mean? He was a great manager. He was a great tactician. He was great with the lads. Great man manager. So he was a real inspiration to me. And and he had the team flying, didn't he? Really at one point. And just towards the back end of the season, we just tailed off a little bit. So I learnt a lot from Carlo. I've already spoke to Carlo. He called me actually. So yeah, I got a lot of information from Carlo. He's a great guy, great, unbelievable manager. I mean, one of the best in the world there's ever been. So yeah, of course I've learnt a lot from him.